Last month marked an important anniversary in the fight for equality in Tasmania. 30 years ago, my friend Rodney Croome, along with 130 other people, was arrested at Hobart's iconic Salamanca markets for defending a small stall promoting gay law reform. People were arrested for displaying the word gay or lesbian, or wearing material that displayed a pink triangle, a symbol used previously by the Nazis to identify homosexual men imprisoned in concentration camps, but reclaimed by activists in the 1970s and 80s to represent collective pride and protest. 3 years later, in 1991, Croome and Nicholas Toonen took the Australian government to the United Nations Human Rights Committee, claiming Tasmania's laws were in breach of Articles 17 and 26 of the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Toonen's landmark claim prevailed, but it would not be until 1997, 6 years after the claim was filed and almost a decade after Croome's arrest, that homosexuality would be decriminalised in Tasmania. In 30 years, Tasmania has gone from being the last state to decriminalise homosexuality and to adopt discrimination laws to being Australia's most progressive. Tasmania was the first to allow civil unions and show support for same-sex marriage, with Rodney Croome himself recently describing our laws as gold standard. But if Tasmania's laws are gold standard, what of the other states in the Commonwealth? Isn't it offensive that in this day and age a dichotomy can still exist in LGBTI equality between our jurisdictions? The fact that we have had to have a plebiscite for marriage equality held 1 year ago this week demonstrates that we still live in a legal and social landscape that does not always adequately value and respect the human rights of LGBTI people. But as history now shows, the Australian people wanted marriage equality and the human rights of LGBTI people respected. Yet it's not over. The recent hyperbole that arose from the Ruddock Religious Freedom Review only highlighted the prejudice that continues to ferment below the surface. It fleshed out the ways in which Australian law still grants religious bodies sexual discrimination, whereas in Tasmania we are the only state that prohibits all forms of discrimination against LGBTI people. At the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery in Hobart, there is a moving exhibition currently on display commemorating the Salamanca protests from some 30 years ago, with original photographs, police documents and protest materials from that 1988 event. And to this day, the gay and lesbian rights group continues to operate every Saturday at Tasmania's Salamanca market. I think these anniversaries are an opportunity for us to reflect on our values around sexuality, relationships and humanity. They're an opportunity for us to realise the magnitude of discrimination that the LGBTI community continues to experience and to progress reform towards an equal future free from harm.